All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hudson?
Here.
Trustee Maravka?
Here.
Trustee Richards?
Here.
Trustee Sandberg?
Here.
Trustee Sluse?
Here.
Trustee Sturba?
Here. All right, first we have some good news. I want to present a certificate of achievement for FFA state champions Emma Bialco, Avery Klecka, and Mark Jones II. So if you guys want to come up here.
Mine is Mark.
Mark.
Avery's.
Avery's not here? Okay. So they were the 2023 Illinois FFA state champion in ag communications. Emma's category was opinion writing and Mark's was on web design. So tell us what you had to do for opinion writing.
Yeah, so we sat through kind of like a seminar and we learned about a topic, and then I wrote an opinion writing piece based on my opinion on that topic.
Awesome. And what did you do for web design?
Yeah, so I sat through that same press conference and then I had to create a website and design it and sort of innovate in new ways to stand out from my competitors.
Perfect. All right, well, congratulations.
Dr. March, can you just scoot that chair?
Oh, yes. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's Mark.
Presents.
Little pen, and a
Thank
pen,
you.
okay? And now, do you want me to give you Avery's?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
we
take
can
it.
take that.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats. Good job,
you guys.
All right, next item on the agenda is public comment. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. We just have the minutes of the February 26, 2024 regular village board meeting, and also to approve the payroll and accounts payable. The payroll, the pay period ending on March 2nd, for a total of $59,654.70. And accounts payable, we had for the period ending on March 5th, $2,500 in the general fund, and then the pay period, or the period ending on March 11th, total of $48,724.88, also out of the general fund. Either of those items, is there any board member who wants to remove either one of those items from the consent agenda? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Moved by trustee Maravka, second by trustee Sluse.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
All right, on the staff and committee reports, I don't really, Troy, you have anything to report?
Just that the pre-construction meeting for the streetscape project is tomorrow. So at that time, we'll get a better idea of the schedule and how we're gonna, assist with access to the businesses. Come up with a plan for, when things shut down, when sidewalks shut down, when roads shut down, it's like we set in stone, we'll have a better idea at that point. The night court relocations are complete, as far as the gas main, other than restoration, which they know they need to do. That's all I have.
Good job, Troy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, did you have anything to report?
Troy did it.
Ditto, Troy.
No, sir.
Okay. Amy? Anything? All right, on to my comments. First of all, the last 10 days we've been working furiously with the PR firm that we hired. Melanie, the principal there, is a real firecracker. I mean, she's really gonna be good for us. We've got a postcard put together. Do you wanna pull that up?
Sure.
That was in the email that hopefully you guys all got that this afternoon. That was what we sent out to all the businesses. They're gonna be, Melanie and Jamie from that firm are gonna be in town tomorrow and Wednesday, walking around to all the downtown businesses to kind of get their feedback and see what kind of concerns they have. The open house is April 3rd, Wednesday, April 3rd, from 4 to 7 at the atrium. So every resident and business is gonna get this postcard. It was put in the mail, or sent to the post office today. We're hoping by the end of the week that it'll be in everybody's mailbox. It's kind of wordy, but we figured this might be the only thing that some people get, if they're not on email or, so at least it'll give some details to the project. It's gonna give an opportunity for people to sign up for the e-newsletter, and obviously give information about the open house on that Wednesday. Like I said, it's gonna be at the atrium, and so things are moving along. I think I'm very happy with what she's been doing, and I think you guys did a great thing. And we're also, by gathering all these emails, this is gonna be good for us in the future to be able to send out newsletters to people just through constant contact. And and then we've got more, we're gonna talk about being able to have a text alert system too, that's further down in the agenda. We'll talk about it back down there. There is, I know it's short notice, that they wanted us to do a quick groundbreaking, just to, take a picture tomorrow after the pre-con meeting. So I figure that's probably gonna be around 2:30, wouldn't you think, Troy, about an hour, the pre-con meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 2:30. If anybody can get away, I'd love to have any or all of you there to get in that picture. We'll probably do another kind of, I don't know, call it a second groundbreaking, but some of the politicians that helped us get this grant, I'd like to get them in a picture. They're all in Springfield, for the next few weeks, so we'll try to arrange something with them. So if we do something like that, I'll let you guys know, give you plenty of time, so. If you are able to make it, kind of just meet here at 2:30 and we'll walk over to 2nd Street and get a quick picture. See if there's any old business, on to new business. We have a public hearing on the 2025 fiscal year budget. I need a motion to go into that public hearing.
Motion. Second.
Moved by trustee Sluse, seconded by trustee Maravka.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Richards,
Yes.
trustee Sandberg,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba,
Yes.
Great, and just a note, all the trustees are still here that were at the beginning of the meeting. Quick review of the budget details. Of course, we had this presented to us last meeting, but just to kind of give an overview, we've got budgeted revenues of $8,883,449. Budgeted expenditures, $10,520,018. We've got a couple of big projects in there, of course, the downtown streetscape and also the Conrad Street storm sewer and paving project. So with that, any comments, questions, discussion from the board? If not, any comments, questions, or discussion from the public? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second?
Moved by trustee Sluse, second by trustee Hudson.
trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Richards,
Yes.
trustee Sandberg,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba,
Yes.
All right, item D is the ordinance approving the fiscal year 2025 Village of Peatone budget, April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2025. This would be ordinance 24-05. Need a motion if there's no
Make a
discussion.
motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by trustee Hudson, seconded by trustee Richard.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Richards.
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba.
Yes.
All right, next on the agenda, we had a request from a resident to put an honorary street sign for their parents on the street, and we don't really have anything like that now. We kind of did a little research on what some other towns in the area do, and there was some information in your packet. So hopefully you read that over. Let me get to it here. We thought, if we were gonna approve this, we thought maybe we'd put some restrictions on it. It would just be up for 1 year. There'd be a fee of $300 that would cover the cost of the sign and for the installation by Public Works. And then there's just, a little application, why it should be done, and I don't know if I said it, but I think we also said we're gonna restrict this to maybe 2 per fiscal year, so we don't get a whole bunch at one time. After the 1 year, it'll be taken down and given to the recipient or the recipient's family. And so, I don't know, throw it up for discussion. I mean, some towns restrict it just to people who are deceased, others, it's living or dead, and some restrict, like, they had to be part of the village for, X number of years, 20 years or more or something, so.
Well, my question was, can it be any corner? Like, it looked like on the paperwork that it could be whatever corner I picked, like it could be like Crawford and West Street or whatever. I mean, are there gonna be certain corners that we do? Is it gonna change, like, are we gonna have to change that on MapQuest when people are looking?
Oh.
Are you taking down that street sign?
No.
Like, I don't
Bob,
understand.
yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
You won't have to change the name for MapQuest. It's just a sign that'll be below,
Below
The
the
regular
regular
street
street signs, okay.
yeah, so
And it could be any street in town that we wanted,
if you wanna pay for it,
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
some, like, these sample applications say that, like, the street, like, the person has to be associated with that street, like,
Okay,
maybe that's where they lived for 40 years, or maybe
Right.
they did a park on this street, you
'cause I was
know.
just thinking about my grandparents, they always lived on west and northwest or whatever the
Yeah.
street was, I always got confused, but they were always on that street, so I
Uh-huh.
didn't
Well,
know.
this particular draft ordinance, I think, has contributions within certain categories also.
Right, like humanitarian, veteran,
Yeah.
and all that stuff,
Yeah, so I don't know that, if you wanted to, we could just make it that they're a longtime resident, but I think they should demonstrate some kind of contribution to the
Okay.
community. But that's just the draft.
Okay. Well, the only reason I was thinking, like, cause both my grandparents, like my grandpa was a veteran, but my grandma also did, she had foster kids for 20 years. So I don't know if that would be considered humanitarian, but yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
For sure.
she was always grandma to everybody.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a,
I was just curious, yeah, I was just thinking about it, so, okay.
I was delighted to see this in there. I was like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's
Yeah,
I don't
something
see any-
different.
cons to it at this point.
Just on a related note, we did get a request after this agenda for a special needs sign. So I think we might need to come back to you with a policy on that as well, but we just didn't have time to craft it for you, but just
For like a
FYI.
year thing, or?
So disabled, deaf child,
Oh, like if
Those
somebody
kinds of
lived on that
lived
street.
on that
street. Okay.
yeah, so just kind of a warning
Yeah.
sign or informational sign, so
Okay,
just kind of putting a policy to it. I think there's 2 already up in town
okay.
for the same house.
Correct. Well, actually, a different house, but same area.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns about this, or suggestions?
I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put staff to work on coming up with an ordinance and an application, like these were just kind of sample things we threw together, so.
And I think one per street, like, not two per town, but like, not more than one per street. Like, if there was 4 people who wanted to do it, or 10 people who wanted to do it, as long as it wasn't on the same street sign.
Well, we kind of, like I
Or
said,
does
that was
that
one of the
make it weird?
restrictions. We just thought, just doing a couple a year,
Okay.
Cause it's only 1 year, so
Yeah.
they
so
can
they
do
only
it the
allow for
next
1
year.
And
Yeah,
the next people can do it. Okay.
Limit it to 2
yeah,
a year.
Yeah.
Then you're not having,
taking
Then
stuff
everywhere.
down.
Making you
Yeah.
guys overwork. I'm just kidding.
All right,
everybody will want one.
Yeah, I really want one. I want one.
thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item F, approve certificate of authority to enter into contract with the state of Illinois for the calendar year 2024, 2025 joint purchase master contract of rock salt.
I'll come back.
Hey,
Yep,
welcome
go
back.
ahead.
Welcome back.
So, what you have in your packet is, that is the state bidding on salt on our behalf. It's just pretty much what that is. We get state salt, they bid every year on our behalf. So that's really what that is.
So it's like a co-op, they get a better price, right?
Yep.
All right, just need a motion.
Motion.
Second. Moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
All right, item G, approve estimate in the amount of $17,350.78 from EJ Equipment to repair the street sweeper. So, we had an issue with the street sweeper, we had an estimate for repair. This is part of the reason why the next item's on the agenda, because, the administration doesn't have the authority to approve that amount without board action, so even though it's in the budget, we have to bring that to the board. So anyway, Bob, go ahead and tell us what's going on with that.
So, in the fall, we had some issues with the sweeper. Once we ran it, got through the fall season, we brought it in, did some inspections on it, we noticed that inside the box, we call it, there's things called wear liners and a propeller. Well, we noticed that the propeller is epoxy coated, and we noticed that the epoxy was flaking off. So we took it in, they went through the machine, they came back with the estimate, and I was like, well, fell off my chair. It needs wear liners, a propeller. Usually, this isn't the case for a 4-year-old machine. The last one, we never put a propeller in it. It was 18 years old. These are wear items. They shouldn't wear out the way they did. I don't know why they wore out the way they did. We're at that point where
Are they gonna give you a warranty on this? by any
that's what I'm
chance?
going to push for. Because, we bought that sweeper due to it being close to us for repairs. We've had a good history with Timco's.
Cause how much is a brand new one?
Now, probably over 300,000.
So I mean, this is worth it. It's worth getting it fixed. And hopefully it will be covered.
It just seems a little early for this type of work, in my opinion.
Did they have any idea of why or what happened?
They don't.
I'm not trying to nickel and dime things like this, but have you ever thought about doing a second opinion? Because it's just, I'm not trying to put more work on you, but I know if I had a repair for $17,000, I'd be like, makes me want to think about doing something else.
Well, they're the certified dealer,
Yeah, okay,
that's the other issue we
I
have.
get you, thank you.
Yeah, I would just ask about.
They don't think it was possible, faulty epoxy coating, they,
I can't answer that question, Todd, I don't know, and if I did ask that question, they'd probably say,
No, it was
no,
not.
of course not.
See if you could push for a warranty.
And there isn't a warranty on it now?
no, it's 4 years old now.
Of course.
So they're gonna replace the part, they can't recoat it?
You have to replace the part, because it's flaking off, so if it flakes off anymore, that propeller comes out of balance, if it comes out of balance, then it wears out the shaft, and then we're looking at more expenses.
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by trustee Hudson, second by trustee Sluse.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yep.
Trustee Richards?
Yes,
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
All right, item H, approve ordinance amending section 31.093, responsibilities and duties of the Code of Peatone relative to administrative spending authority. So currently, in our ordinance, the administrator can approve up to $5,000 of budgeted expenses. We were looking to increase that. The state allows up to $25,000 of that authority. Mike, maybe you can kind of tell us the
Sure,
details
yeah,
there.
so, the 5,000 was the number a long time ago. And, you know, periodically the state, General Assembly bumps it up by 5,000, so currently it's at 25,000 is the, once you're above 25,000, it's definitely gonna require board action. But below, that, it's, you know, discretionary for boards, so you can delegate that authority to Amy, so there's less items being brought to the board. There's still, spending policies in place that require, you know, getting quotes and bids and such. But it just, is more efficient, because it, requires less stuff to come to the board, and less paperwork in that respect, and et cetera. So, you don't have to go all the way to 25,000 if people are concerned about such a big jump, but, that's, what the number is at the state level right now.
Now, currently I researched local communities, and everybody's about 3,000 to 5,000 currently.
Oh, wow, okay.
And Mahoney's actually 2,000, and they got a $20 million budget. Closest thing I found to the 25,000 was North Aurora. They got about a $20 million budget. But, I mean, our budgets, their budget,
Sure.
they're apples and oranges, they're not comparable. So, I just not in favor of this.
Yeah, I think 25,000's quite a bit to go without having the board knowing about it and discussing anything like that. That's, I mean, you're talking quarter to $100,000. I mean, I don't think there's anyone in here that would spend 25,000 without talking to their spouse. So I mean,
I would, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I kind of look at it that way. Like $25,000 is a lot of money.
I thought about this when I read it as well, and I thought, I wonder what the other towns are doing, so thank you for researching that. I was just gonna ask that in the meeting. I also like the idea of not jumping up to 25,000, but giving a liberty of going up a little bit higher than 5,000, perhaps
I
going up to
agree.
10,000, just to give it a little bit less work for those involved, but being the small community that we are,
Yeah, I agree.
it's,
Meet in the middle somewhere.
yeah.
No, like you said, most of them are 5,000. And nobody's even considering jumping.
Well, it's kinda nice when something like that does come to the board, so that, you know, like with what we just did, you got 6 more people that can ask questions. I agree, 25,000 is quite a bit. I don't know if there's another way of doing that with, I guess if it was an emergency, I don't know if there's another way of doing that, if it has to be at a board meeting, or if you
Yeah,
can-
there's
you
alternative
can
methods for
canvass-
actual emergencies
Yeah,
already.
if you can
so.
canvass the board or something like that.
Yep. So we don't need a code change to do emergencies, we're already.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that is quite a bit of money.
So I hear a couple people don't wanna change it at all, but there's a couple that maybe wanna go up a little bit. So,
I mean, cause how often do we really need to, I mean, how often do you need to approve like $10,000 even? It's not very often, is it? It's only when something like maintenance or something like that comes up the most, but I mean, we'd still be aware of it, correct? I don't know. But
sure,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think 25,000 is extreme,
yeah,
but yes. Even if it was up to 7, I don't know.
But it kept us in the know, just like we had, what Gary had just said.
Yeah, I'm okay with staying at 5.
okay.
You wanna make a motion?
I don't think. we
Yeah,
need
you
a-
don't need a motion.
We don't need a
if you're
motion,
just
we're not
gonna
gonna
Just
do
to stay?
anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next item, motion to approve memorandum of agreement between the Will County Emergency Telephone System Board and the Village of Peatone regarding the use of Will County's mass notification system for non-emergency notification purposes. So this is a program called Everbridge that the county EMA uses to notify people of some type of emergency. So we're all part of this already, even though you didn't sign up for it. If it's a true emergency, like, you know, if there's an active shooter in your block, you'll get a notification on your phone, you know, saying, you know, stay in your house, don't leave or something. But the county offers it to communities to use for non-emergency purposes. So for $1,500 a year, we can have residents sign up for non-emergency notifications. So this is just another way that we could then communicate things like, you know, hey, this is the last week for branch pickup, or, you know, they're gonna flush hydrants tomorrow, or stuff like that. So I don't anticipate, like, we're not gonna be flooding people's phones with messages, but maybe once or twice a month, something, you know? Or, you know, before the first snowfall, you know, remember not to park on the street or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Yeah.
So this would be, people would have to opt into it. So if we approve this, then we'll, you know, put something on our website and put it out there on social media, or, you know, when we send out these newsletters asking people to sign up for things, that's something that they can opt into. So if you go to the Will County EMA's website and you type in your information, your phone number, your email, however you want to be contacted, and then you can opt in for those messages.
That worked for water main breaks too.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And is it
So-
a yearly payment that we have
Yes.
to make? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is approved, would it be ready for people to sign up for like construction for the downtown streetscape? Before
Yeah,
we have it
I mean,
at
that's,
the April 3rd?
yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we hope, like, at the open house, to have people not only sign up for, you know, giving us their emails, but we'd also have information on how to sign up for this as well.
I think it's great, anything to better the community.
Yeah, to open up more communication, that would be great, it's certainly reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good idea.
need a motion to approve that?
Motion.
Moved by trustee Sturba, second by trustee Richards.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yeah.
Trustee Richards?
Yes?
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
And then item J, approve an ordinance amending various sections of Title 11 Business Regulations of the Code of Peatone relative dates of licensing year. Stacy, would you like to tell us what we're doing?
Sure. Well, I took I've been a clerk just over a year, and I noticed when we're doing renewals for business registration, liquor licenses, tobacco, that tobacco and video gaming, which now has its own application, were on different dates. They're off like a month or so. So we were just looking to have them all where they all come due and are expire at the same time, instead of having, one is in, May, but then like, you've got a gas station that has their liquor license in May, and then their tobacco is a month,
Later.
before or after. So it's just gonna have them all on the same schedule.
Sounds good.
Makes
Sounds
sense.
good.
All right, need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Maravka, second by trustee Sluse, and this will be ordinance 24-06.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Richards?
Yes.
Trustee Sandberg?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Questions of the press?
No.
Any other correspondence, communication from the board? All right, entertain motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Maravka, seconded by trustee Sturba. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.